Righto, we're back. I'm going to do a couple of things. First, I'm going to pull out that same switch again. It was the wrong one, just to see what the dash does, because it's got to be better than when it had a flat battery as well. So I think this is the one that it's only got two pins. It must cancel the cruise control. Okay, so that one goes bung. Doesn't seem to matter. Cruise control. Right, this top one comes off the same. Don't you see I'm going to twist anti-clockwise, and it pops out. Same deal. Unplug the wiring, which is like that, I think. Bit hard to do one-handed, but doable. Right. There, right, 4. There's my new one. There's my new one. Yep, same thing. Rightio. So now I'm going to test it and just see what terminal does what. Righto. On aims, push the little button. That's what we want. Now it's going to be hard to do holding this, but anyway, same problem with not having a stand for the phone. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to basically test these contacts with the button in and out and see which ones open and which ones close, or what they actually do when I put my foot on the brake, just to see if I can bypass one in the plug by putting a bloody paper clip or something in it, just to get me going. If you're out the bush and you didn't have a spare one, I'm curious to see how we can get around it. Righto, so I just tested them, both the bottom ones. So these ones here, they are closed, and if I push the button they go open. And the top ones are the same. They're closed to the circuit from there to there, and they go open when I push the button. Now, the button is normally always pushed, so it's open. That's how the brake actually sits on there, like that, holds that closed. When I put my foot on the brake, it releases it. So that's when it's closing and bring the lights on. So there you go. And I will, so I should be able to, in that theory, I should be able to just put a loop between that one and that one, and that one and that one, and it should work. Let's have a look. So of course, what's happening if this switch actually burns out, that contact that's on now, as you put your foot on the brake and release that, is actually, you burnt the contact out, so it's completely open circuit and just does nothing. So I should be able to short it out on the switch, I reckon. So first I'm going to start the car up without it, just to see what it does. Well, as you would expect, it says I've got no brake. I'm not putting my foot on the brake, which I am. So what I'm going to do is short those wires out and see what it does. Righto. So I've just made up this. There's a dog. Oi! Oh, just checking. I've made up this. So I'm basically going to put it straight into that socket. Hopefully we can just see it just here. Right, that's the other one, not that one. Where is it? That one. So because it's the way they were sitting flat there, I should be able to just put it straight in across there and there, or there and there. Now it's two separate switches, so really I need to put one loop in each, but I'm not sure which one does the brake lights and the dash and what the other one's for. It's probably just to tell the computer something or other. So I am going to just plug it into one first and see what it does, and then plug it into the other. Hang on. Right, here we go. Dodgy Brothers sparky work. It's not focusing very well down here, but anyway, you get the picture. Oh. So basically, I've just put it across where two of those were. So let's see what it does now when I try and start it. Please don't go bang. Ha, there you go. Righto, now the only problem will be, I've got to put off the brake now, of course. Yeah, brake lights are all on. So there you go, you can just short that out, and I've obviously used a bit of wire, and if you didn't have that, you could use a paper clip, a key ring, anything. And now because the car's already running, I should be able to take that out. So let's just take it out, and it shouldn't make any difference. Oh, whoops, good wiring there, Chriso. Well, there we go. And but what it'll probably now won't let me put it into, yeah, won't let me put it in gear, so I've got to leave that loop in and your brake lights on. There you go. So you got to leave the loop in, brake lights on. At least we know that you're out the bush, you can just short those two pins out and it will go. Righto, so yep, just with that one loop in, it's starting again. Now just remember, when you're putting that loop in, like I showed you on the switch, only put it in the top two or the bottom two, or you can probably loop both out, wouldn't matter, but not top to bottom because they're two different wiring systems. So anyway, I'm going to see if it goes into gear now. If it goes into gear, there's no reason we can't drive it home like that. Just means your brake lights are on. Ugh. Rightio, can you stay there, dog? Stay there, mate. Right, brake off. I mean, my handbrake off. Oh, this is interesting. Nah, won't let me come out of gear. Right, so I need to short both of them out, I reckon. I'll put both loops in. Righto, both loops in. Oh. Let's see what it does this time. Okay. Starts. Yep, I'm in gear. Righto, stay there, dog. Reverse. What am I going to run over today? What was that? Yesterday I ran over my multimeter. Not happy. Well, there you go. Oh, I haven't got my seatbelt on, but driving, stops. There we go. Right, so there you go. Now, obviously, that is not something you'd want to do all the time, but I was curious, and I know that there are lots of videos out there on this brake switch issue and why it happens and getting around it or whatever. But most people in their vehicles, you can get around it by pushing the red arc controller button in, and because that basically puts a signal onto your, brake light in your trailer plug or whatever, it somehow backfeeds the system to here and tells the car, yes, you have got your foot on the brake. That doesn't work in mine. This wiring loom was just bought with the red arc controller for my trailer plug wiring loom from Southeast Queensland, local mob up here, and it is totally separate from this system, so it doesn't backfeed at all. Therefore that button does not override my brake switch, so that's why I thought I'd do this. And the second reason was that if you're out the bush and it happened, would you be able to bypass it? And yeah, there you go. So there you go. We now know that we can drive one of these things home if we have to, if your brake light switch does bugger up. But if you've watched this video and you now know how to short it all out, which is only really a temporary bypass to get you out of a sticky situation, definitely not to drive around like that, because we're not sure what all the other controls do, and the computer now doesn't know that the brake's on or off. So it's not something you do any other time except when you're in dire need. But if you've watched this video and you know how to do that, or you've worked out how to do that before, you would have also worked out that you should carry one of these and you wouldn't have to do that. But it's just nice to know that there is a way around all these little issues. What do you reckon, dog? Our work here is done. Ciao.